The vast, circular chamber of the Galactic Senate was, for millennia, the very heart of the Republic. A symphony of light and shadow with its thousands of hovering pod platforms, each representing a system, a people, a voice in the grand chorus of democracy. It was designed to be a sanctuary of debate, a crucible where diverse opinions could be forged into a collective will. Yet, on a day that would forever be etched into the galaxy's memory, this sacred space became something else entirely, a battleground. The corruption, insidious and slow, had been gnawing at its foundations for years, engineered by a master manipulator, one who understood that the easiest way to dismantle a system was from within. Palpatine, the seemingly benevolent chancellor, had woven a web of fear and division, slowly transforming the grand debates into shouting matches, the compromises into power plays. The veneer of democracy was thinning, revealing the raw ambition beneath. And then, the veneer shattered. It began not with a declaration of war on an external enemy, but with an internal implosion. The moment of truth arrived when words, once the most potent weapons in this chamber, failed entirely. The air, usually thick with the hum of thousands of voices, now crackled with an unbearable tension. Suddenly, a single Senate pod, one of those very platforms meant for deliberation, was ripped from its mooring. It wasn't merely thrown, it was hurled, a physical manifestation of a broken promise, a shattered ideal. And then, another, and another. What unfolded next was a terrifying, visually stunning spectacle. The elegant, soaring architecture of the Senate was transformed into an arena of pure chaos. Senate pods, the very symbols of representation and discourse, became literal weapons, flying through the air, crashing into one another, smashing into the floor. Laser fire erupted, igniting against the polished surfaces. The shouts of debate were replaced by the screams of battle. This was no longer politics. This was war, violent and visceral, enacted within the very institution designed to prevent it. Amidst this maelstrom, a small, ancient figure moved with a sorrowful grace, Master Yoda. His presence in this war-torn chamber was deeply symbolic. Yoda, the embodiment of the Old Republic's ideals, the wisdom accumulated over centuries, found himself fighting not against an external invasion, but against the internal corruption that had metastasized. He was defending the spirit of the Republic, not on a battlefield of distant stars, but within its very core. He fought amidst the wreckage of the institution he had sworn to protect, his green lightsaber a beacon against the darkness, a desperate attempt to rekindle a fading light. It was a profound and tragic metaphor, laid bare for all to witness. The tools of democracy, the platforms for voices, the spaces for reasoned argument, were weaponized. The very act of political disagreement had escalated, past persuasion, past compromise, past even shouting, into a brutal physical confrontation. The Senate, once a forum, had become a front line. The fight within the chamber was not just a skirmish. It was the definitive declaration that the Republic as it was known was dead. Its last breaths were exhaled amidst the crashing of pods and the clash of sabers. The visual impact of this scene is indelible. A grand, idealistic vision of governance collapsing into ruin, not by external force, but by a deliberate internal rot that finally burst forth in violence. It represented the ultimate failure of a system to protect itself from its own flaws, from the ambition and malevolence lurking within. It was the moment where the subtle subversion of democracy gave way to its overt, brutal overthrow. As the dust began to settle and the last echoes of battle faded, what remained was not just a physically scarred chamber, but a galaxy irrevocably altered. The Republic was gone. Its ideals fractured, its heart torn out. In its place, rising from the ashes of that violent Senate chamber, was an empire. The benevolent chancellor, Palpatine, now openly declared himself emperor. The war in the Senate was, in essence, the violent birth pangs of tyranny. It was the tragic culmination of a long, slow fall, culminated in a swift, brutal execution. This confrontation, beyond its dramatic spectacle, serves as a powerful reminder of the fragility of institutions, even those built on the noblest intentions. It highlights how easily a system can be corrupted from within, how discourse can descend into division, and how swiftly the line between politics and warfare can blur. The Senate War was not just a battle for power, it was a battle for the very soul of the galaxy, a battle that democracy ultimately lost. We invite you to reflect on this powerful moment in galactic history. What insights does the fall of the Republic offer us about the nature of power, governance, and the defense of ideals? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this exploration resonated with you, consider subscribing for more journeys into the depths of these stories.